What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Tellin channel. Now, over on the Tom Origins channel, there's a massive series out right now about the Lake District. Us going and taking on the Lake District, having our 4-day adventure up there. It was so much fun. It was really good. In between that and this, we went and watched Deadpool 3. And yeah, that was an amazing movie. But today's video is all about the London vlog. Now, at the moment, I'm a little bit out of sync. I kind of hesitated and then panicked and uploaded the Thorpe Park vlog, so that's already out on this channel. That was actually meant to come out after this video, but just the way it worked down there, I accidentally uploaded it too soon. But you guys have seemed to enjoy that, so yeah, that was our trip to Thorpe Park. That takes place during this adventure, but this is the beginning of the adventure. Very early in the morning, me and Helen got up bright and early because we had to go and pick up our friend Charlotte. Now, Charlotte has not been down to London for a fair few years. She's into her theme park and she's never actually been to Thorpe Park before, which obviously is the UK's best theme park statistically. It's won many awards and it actually houses the tallest, fastest roller coaster in the UK. So me, Charlotte and Helen jumped into the famous Marvellous Mini and shot down the M1 all the way to London. This was a long trek and it was a very big drive, but we managed to get there in time to see my sister and send her off on her holiday. And this was our first day down there. We actually got up, we packed the car with some beach supplies because it was very warm, and we decided to head down to a place called Climping Beach, which is quite close to Brighton. I guess would be its most famous destination that it's near. But we drove to the beach and we had a beach day to begin our trip, which we thought was a nice way to sort of get used to the heat being down there and actually enjoy a little bit of the temperature and actually go in the sea for the first time in 2024, I believe. I've been in Lake Windermere, we swam there in the Lake District video, but to be in the actual ocean, it's been a while. And that's weird for me because I used to spend my summers over in Benidorm a lot of the time. I had a family caravan out there. So we used to actually spend the full 6-week summer holidays abroad every single summer. So summers like this in the UK have been quite a rarity for me, which to many of you watching this video, this might be your generic holiday. This might be your actual annual sort of summer holidays, always been in the UK road tripping. But I've never had that lifestyle before, so it's been a really weird change of pace for me. I do quite like the planes and going abroad like that, but I didn't mind this. This was quite a change of pace for me, so it was a nice little trial at something new. We'd packed up and headed to the beach, like I was saying, and the weather was stunning. It was absolutely gorgeous. Helen, the famous camera woman that she is, was capturing all of the stock footage that we needed for our travelling adventures. Traffic wasn't too bad, and the weather was at its peak. Gorgeous, really gorgeous down there. The problem with London is you get the best kind of weather, but you also have the most ridiculous prices. Prices are just far too expensive down there, so there was a conversation because my family members live down there. Kerry, my sister, and my brother-in-law Paul, and our nephews William and Rory. They gave us their house for a couple of days while they were away abroad, and we got to use their house and their lifestyle to kind of get around and enjoy. But it is too expensive. They've even said that themselves. They've lived there for a long time. It's very expensive down there. There was a brief time where me and Helen maybe fantasized about maybe living down in London, but just due to that price skyrocket of what prices are like down there, it would probably be something that's not on the cards for us, even though you get some fantastic places like this. But yeah, it was really nice. I packed us a packed lunch and I did this every single day. We went to a local supermarket and we purchased everything we needed at the start of our trip, and then using our famous cooler that came with us to the Lake District, it was there to provide us a packed lunch every single day. And this was the weather in Littlehampton, which is the nearest town. 28 degrees, absolutely piping hot. The beach was busy. Helen and Charlotte got pitched up on the beach. I'd flattened them down a little area and I kept making these trips back and forth to the car to fetch things. But I set them up in their little spot, and then I wanted to kind of get around shooting some shots and adventuring. There was this cool little cafe that was made out of a crate, which was kind of cool. I'd never seen like a shipping container cafe before. It's a really nice beach. We had been here a few years ago with my sister and my brother-in-law and our nephews, where Helen actually got a really bad sunburn on her leg, but this year, no sunburn. So absolutely a miracle right there, and then we were very happy about that. So just explored around the sort of facilities, had a little wander about to see what everything was like. Went back to get my deck chair from the car because we borrowed my sister's garden furniture to take with us to the beach. It folded up nicely and it did fit into the very, very compact Mini. And there I am, enjoying my sun, enjoying the some form of sunshine that we'll get this year. It's very rare to get sunshine in the UK, so to put sun cream on and to chill on the beach is a very big rarity. It's something that doesn't happen often, so to actually go and do something like this was a big game changer for us, really. So we did really go out there and enjoy the sun all day. We were out there for many hours, and I definitely wanted to get in that ocean. Now, like an absolute boob, I didn't take my GoPro, and I did wrap Helen up though in a few towels to make sure she didn't get sunburn. So she did put some sun cream on, she did do some sunbathing, and this is after we've come back from the sea. I did wrap her up in a sort of burrito style thing, and I enjoyed some fruit on the beach. Your boy's being healthy this summer, and he's actually doing really well, making some progress, so I'm trying my best. But there's Helen on the beach, zooming in to what can only appear to be me adventuring into the ocean. And like I say, I will never understand what my thought process was of not taking the GoPro. I think it's because it had so much footage still on there from the Lake District. I didn't want to get the files corrupted, because we shot some really cool stuff on Lake Windermere, so I didn't want to lose out on any of that footage. So Helen, being the legendary camera woman she is, got some very good, very good long-range shots of me walking into the sea and kind of exploring the British coastal side. It was quite a good laugh, to be fair, to watch this back in the editing booth, because I have not seen these footage before. So there I am, elegantly just strutting my stuff into the ocean, having a good old time. And it was very warm, actually. The sea was very nice. Not at all as like I thought it was going to be. Obviously, a couple of weeks before, being up in Lake Windermere, swimming in the cold, and then being in the beautiful boiling hot sea was actually a nice treat. And I actually did drag Helen and Charlotte into the sea later on in the day, and they actually joined me in there. And I obviously wanted to go out the furthest, but as the designated driver, I was not allowed to perish at sea. So I did have to keep myself within reason of the shore. But I did enjoy it, and I saw, obviously, you can see all these little dots of people around me kind of swimming and enjoying it too. It was a really nice day out at the beach, to be fair. I really did like it. And it's a beautiful spot. Brighton as well, you might have seen the Easter vlog that we did, where we did the Brighton video, and we kind of went around Brighton seaside town, and that was really cool. Somewhere I'd like to maybe go back in the summer. I know it was absolutely rammed this summer. We were also playing some Uno on the beach with Helen's famous Uno cards. This deck of cards has been with us on many trips, but then the following day there was no time for rest because we were out early at Thorpe Park in this absolute zombie apocalypse crowd. I've never been to Thorpe Park since COVID. I absolutely wish it was COVID all over again so I could go back and enjoy it at that low, quiet capacity. But we were here for one reason only, and that was Hyperia, the tallest, fastest, steepest roller coaster in the United Kingdom. She puts the big one at the Pleasure Beach Blackpool to shame by beating her record with its own record, and it's a whopper. So how this worked, we arrived at the park, ADHD mode kicked into the max. You know who I am at this point. I've conquered every park known to man, and I wanted to conquer Hyperia next. That was my sole purpose of the day. I needed to complete this ride just because of the ADHD completionist in my brain. I needed to get it done. Helen understood that, and I waited outside the queue until they opened it, because basically a little bit of the controversy with Hyperia. The staff were lovely, by the way. They were great. The weather was really hot and they had to do a really tough job. They basically had to stand in front of the ride telling people they weren't allowed to technically go on it today, but we could queue for it today. They couldn't guarantee us that it would open. They wouldn't guarantee us that it was working. They could only guarantee that, you know, if you do fancy a ride on it, we recommend you queue up. So I sent Helen and Charlotte off to a different area not too far away from Hyperia. They went and did a ride called Samurai, and basically, because I'd already done that ride on a different trip, I wasn't bothered about missing out on that. I was more bothered about sniping us a place in the queue. So I was kind of stood observing Hyperia, getting some of these shots of the queue line and what it looks like. And it's a beautiful roller coaster. It's gorgeous. It's massive. And it definitely has a kick when you ride it. It definitely is scary because it doesn't have the shoulder straps. So that's a weird thing, but really cool. And honestly, I loved this ride. It is by far in the top 3 of UK theme park rides for me, definitely. But in which order, you have to watch the Thorpe Park vlog. I kind of ordered them and voted for which one I thought was the best in the UK. After going to Florida, it's so hard, but this big boy, Stealth, oh my god, one of my favourite rides in the UK. Absolutely awesome. It's so short and sweet, but I love that the queue line is tiny and the ride itself is very short and sweet, but it's got such a good kick to it. Doing 0 to 80 in like 1.8 seconds or something mental. It's crazy. But it was so much fun. We actually had a blast. And then the day after, again, no rest for us. We were in London. This is what happens when you're on a very small time scale and you have to get a lot done. We were up again bright and early. I did a half-an-hour drive to get us to the train station. And then we flew from, well, I say flew metaphorically. We jumped on the train and shot up from Effingham to Waterloo. Then walked from Waterloo on the biggest walk around London you could possibly do, but you got to see sites like the London Eye, you got to see Buckingham Palace, you got to see Big Ben, the Houses of Parliament, Westminster, all of these different places. We got to go and explore the London boroughs, and we have to tell you, if you go to London in July or August, be super careful along this Tower Bridge and along other bridges around the Thames. There's a lot of these like mini games happening and pickpocketing scandals and things, so just be very careful. Take decoy bags, do your research beforehand. This is me and Helen in M&M World. Charlotte really wanted to go here, so we went there, and me and Helen were just messing around with the M&M machines while Charlotte was trying to pick up some merch, and I think in the end she ended up getting a postcard or something, which is kind of cool. And this is me building a Lego set. So whilst we were down there, we visited all 3 of the London Lego stores. That's over on the Origins Bricks channel. You can go and check that out, my Lego channel. And I bought a Lego set for the minifigures, like most of my sets that I buy. But this one came with a really cool base plate and a really cool stand. And I wasn't going to fit it in my suitcase and take it home with me. So I built it there and on the kitchen table for my nephew Rory and William to have. So William, Rory, I hope you enjoy your base plate. I quite enjoy building it for you. I don't get to build Lego often because my aim is to really save my builds until me and Helen have our house. And until we move in, I'm not really building any of my favourite sets or any of my big ones. So every now and then when I get to build a little set like this, I do really appreciate it. It's a nice feeling to get. But yeah, all in all, it was a great little trip. It went by really quickly. And it was definitely a really different trip to what I'm used to. But yeah, enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe for more. And if you enjoyed this type of video, go and check out the vlogs of the Lake District trip over on the main channel. And if you like Lego, go and check out content on the Origins Bricks channel as well. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.